Well, we're heading to Alabama. Now, I know on that one video I said I got a load going to Alabama. This is not that load. This is another load. We're going to be fighting our hours on this one, and I think it's going to be a little interesting. But I've got to run over here and see if I can't get refrigerated fuel for the trailer, and then we've got to cook. Now here's the deal. It's Friday. I don't have to be in Anniston, Alabama until 3 a.m. Monday morning. Which, you're like, yeah, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is the hours. I'm running recaps right now. Right now I have 6 hours and 30 minutes on my 70. I'm picking up 11:15 tomorrow, and then the following day I'm picking up 7. So it's going to be a little, it's going to be interesting. So, well, 2.5 hours later, we're here, and it's the usual Friday shenanigans. Stuck here in this line that seems to be a still life painting, where I'm pretty sure that guy's going to try to cut me off, even though they forced him next to me. Yeah, we were all out in the street. It's been a clown show. Coming here on a Friday is always a mess. It's always been a mess. I generally don't like coming to this place at all, but my load's loaded. One of the things that concerns me right now is the weather. You can't really see it, but I'm on the edge of a storm, and I can actually literally feel the pressure dropping. The wind is really starting to pick up. I mean, it's getting serious, so I'm gonna have to figure out what we're doing here, and then make a plan, of course. So see how long it takes to get through. It is 1:48 right now. Let's see what happens, how long it takes me to get through the gate. So right now I am 15 hours and 54 minutes out. So roughly 16 hours going the way I'm gonna go. Like I said, we're gonna have to watch the weather. So yeah. So I got enough time between the 4 hours and 9 minutes today. I got 4 hours and 9 today. I've got 11 this on my tomorrow. Let's see. I'm picking up 7:26 tomorrow and 11 on tomorrow. Yeah. So I'll have some decent time. So I'll make it decently tomorrow, but Sunday's going to be the main push. Well, we've been here 54 minutes. We're finally up to the guard shack, but looking down the street, you can see there's, yeah, it's dropping hard. There's something getting ready to really rip this place apart. Well, we've got it picked up, and now we're just waiting to get out. I've got to run about 2 blocks east. There's a scale there. So yeah, it was an hour and 2 minutes to get in. I've been here 9 minutes in. It's probably going to be another 10 to 12 minutes to get out. It's a real mess today. This was the guy that was behind me. Apparently they're turning him around. I'm waiting for its shift change right now, which doesn't help. But that shag truck's got to come in too. Those guys, so basically, want to wait for all 3 of those guys to go out and wait for the shag truck to come in. So, yeah. So we're finally rolling. We're at 43.5 is the weight, which is probably closer to 44.5, knowing these guys. So I got to run about a block east. There's a self-service scale that's actually pretty good, and then we can get out of here. We got this self-service scale right here, so we're pretty good here. Yeah, 33.9 on my drive. Not bad for guessing. I'm gonna move it back a hole when we get parked. I'm not worried about 33.9. It's all boxed. It's not gonna move. Right now, what I'm worried about is the weather. I brought it up a couple of times. What's happening is it's 74 degrees today. It's gonna have a low of 22, so we got a hot front and a cold front coming. And this is tornado weather. I mean, this is very, very serious tornado weather. So I actually need to find a place to hunker down. So let's get going. So as we roll down US 20, you can clearly see I drove out of the wind, but I'm literally right on the edge of the storm. The storm is on the north side of the road. The sun shines on the south. It was a real wild drive. It got pretty rough and intense. I drove out of it, drove back into it. It caught up with me all the way to Center Point, actually to Waterloo. It was pretty rough. And then, yeah, down 380 wasn't too bad, though. Well, I rolled into Center Point, Iowa now. We got parked. A 14 had caught up with me. I got 53 minutes left on my 70 and 6 minutes left on my drive. So I'm picking up 7 hours and 26 minutes tomorrow, then 11, then 2.5. I'll have a total of 8 hours and 19 minutes to drive tomorrow. I'm not sure how far that will get me, but I'm pretty sure I can at least be into Arkansas tomorrow. We'll have to check on that. But yeah, it was kind of a push. So I got 685 miles in. So yeah, I guess it wasn't too bad. So I went into this McDonald's here in Center Point to get me something to eat because, well, that's healthy. And ordered my food and all that, and watched a guy completely botch his order, even though they asked him 4 times, and suddenly it was all the employee's fault. And I got to thinking about when I was younger, back in the early to mid 80s, when they opened the very first McDonald's in Moscow. And there was news articles. They had people lined up around blocks for days just wanting to try something American. I was very happy to get it. And I guarantee you that the Muscovites, they all just learned the menu and they loved it. And hey, all right. I mean, it was a sign that times were changing, that communism was going away, and that Russians were getting a chance to experience something of the rest of the world. And I'm sitting here thinking about that because some guy here in Iowa who's got 10 years on me can't quite figure it out. Yeah. So anyways, depending on which way I go, if I go through down through St. Louis, down 64 to 24, into Nashville, down 65, is 861 miles. If I go down through St. Louis, down 55, through Memphis, down 22, and across, it's 878, I believe, from here. And the time is exactly the same. So tomorrow, when I get up, when we get closer to St. Louis, we're going to figure out how much time we have, because that's going to, how much time I have is going to dictate where I stop. And where I stop is going to dictate which route I take, because your routing is real important when you're limited on time, because you might not be able to find a place to park if you can't make it to where you want to be. So anyhow, well, I guess we're done for tonight, so we'll see you tomorrow morning. So it's 4 in the morning. I have to go grab my coffee cup. Got to check Google Earth and make sure the roads aren't flooded, stuff like that. That was actually a very severe storm. Looked last night on how far we could go if we went through St. Louis, down 64, 24 into Nashville. We can make it to, at the extreme, Cudahy, Kentucky, or if we go all the way down 55, we'll make it to Blytheville, Arkansas. So let me get my coffee, and we will, like I said, check the weather, look at the map. The wind's still blowing, but it's only going to blow for about another hour, but it's done. So as we start our day here, we have, well, that's all we have. Now as we do our pre-trip here, I only have time for one main stop today. A half-hour break for sure, but one main stop. I could probably squeeze in two. However, that'll all just depend on the situation. 7 hours and 40 minutes to where I need to go. And if you take out, 15 minutes for those other two stops, then suddenly we're running up a clock. So what we got there is basically just about 40 minutes of playtime. Now of that 40 minutes, about 20 minutes of it's going to get eaten up because, well, it is Google Earth. One of the main reasons I pushed so hard last night to get this far east wasn't because just because of the wind. It was the cold front that was coming in, and it hit last night, and it's snowing up in Sioux Falls and up in southeastern South Dakota, western Minnesota, and northwestern Iowa. Don't get me wrong, the wind was quite vicious and it was very serious, but the snow coming in on top of it. Now I knew the roads weren't going to freeze, but it was going to create some slick spots and just make things a lot harder. And the temperature, like I said, it's 52 degrees right now, and it's going to cool off as the afternoon goes on. But over where I was at, it's already plummeted. So it was just something I needed to be concerned about. That way I could get out of there successfully. As the sun's coming up, we're going to head to New London, Missouri to fill up. You can see the fog coming in. We're right on the edge of a storm, and there's going to be another storm to the south of us. So we're right on the edge of the cold front. Had some weird things happen on this stretch. Like I've literally driven from one front to another and gone from 30 degrees to 60 in the matter of a mile and a half. That'll fog your windows up. But the wind is starting to blow, and that tells me that I will be out of this storm here probably within an hour or so. Thankfully, we can get filled up and get away from this. Now, don't get me wrong, the wind out here is absolutely wicked. But I do know that we're moving out of it because 10 minutes later, the haze, the fog, it's all gone. We drove right out of it, which means hopefully here in another 35, 40 minutes, maybe we'll be out of the wind. That would be nice. It's amazing. I just literally drove right out of it. So, hey, let's get to New London. Well, there's where we're getting our fuel. Alright, so we're pulling here. I think I'm only going to fill up one tank. I'm only going to fill up one tank because I want to get the bulk of it done in Alabama. And I'm going to put some cleaner in down there. I've been having trouble with water up here because of the hot and cold. So let me get this done and we'll get going. So got my fuel, got all cleaned up, put 85 gallons in. and let's show you the clock. Got 2 more minutes till my 30-minute break. This is what we're dealing with today. I'm picking up 11 even tomorrow. So that storm is still coming. Let me show you what I'm getting at, because I was looking at it. It doesn't matter which way I go, I'm going to be in it. So let me show you what we're dealing with here. So this is what I'm dealing with. You see, yeah, it's coming up. So I'm going to be basically right in it towards. It's going to get gnarly. You can see. Let's zoom in here to where I'm gonna. Yep, there we go. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. And if I end up going to down here towards Memphis, same kind of thing, only a lot sooner. So it is what it is. So my brake is up. And I'm going to be dealing with the wind and the weather and all of that no matter what. It's just going to be rough all the way today. I was hoping it would move further east, but it looks like it's just going to sit. So I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like either, but I guess tomorrow is a problem for another day. So we'll get going, get through St. Louis, and just see what Illinois has to offer. Why I was so worried about, stopping and all that, and I talked about fun time, is that you're going to waste the majority of your time not at the truck stop, not fueling, but getting in and getting out. Those 2 or 3 minutes, as you've seen on several of these, those 2 or 3 minutes really will make you or break you. And when you're stuck behind a Swift truck who's obviously on his second day, it just makes it worse. So as we got to St. Louis, we sat there and looked at the weather and saw which way it was going and realized that it's going to have a much better time, and it was going to be a lot drier and less, horrible if we just went ahead and went south down towards Memphis rather than out towards Paducah and Nashville. We'll be in it a little bit today, but it'll all be pretty much done tonight when it all moves off to the east. But if we went towards Paducah tomorrow, it was going to be most of the day, so we went south towards Memphis. So I made it here to Blytheville, Arkansas. Yeah, not Matthews. I blew right past that. Yeah, Arkansas. That's what we have now. We are getting 11 even tomorrow. So I will have 11 hours and 19 minutes. Yeah, the storm hopefully should be gone tomorrow, but I'm going to go in and find me some Bojangles, and I think we may just call it a night. So a couple hours later, you can see the storm is just kind of in and out right now. We're on the end of it here. I'm just hoping I can get out tomorrow. Another driver called me and told me he saw some signs on 22 saying it's going to be closed tomorrow, so I'm going to have to just check on that in the morning. So I think we're going to shut it down for tonight and see you tomorrow morning. So it's about 25 after 3. Need to start my clock. We are 322 miles out here in Blytheville, an hour north of Memphis. One of my biggest fears about parking here in this row is that right there. The parking lot's really wide and people will park all the way up through here. So I was glad that nobody did. Got to wash my windows. It did the typical Midwestern thing last night. And that was rain mud. So, yeah, all of that rain we get, you think the windows would be clean, but right there at the end, it rained mud. So, get these all cleaned off and we'll get out of here. Well, we got them all kind of clean. So, plan for today, we have 11 hours and 13 minutes left on our 70. Consequently, the same amount on our 14. Go figure. So, it's an hour north. It's 322 miles to our delivery. And that came out to, what, 5.5 hours. So that's not bad. Like I said, I'm picking up 2 hours tomorrow. So, tomorrow I'll have 6, and the day after that I think I'll have 11 and then 7. So dispatch wants to do something with that, which usually we could probably do. It's get me somewhere and then load me on Tuesday, and then from there I'll have enough hours to get everything. But after Tuesday I'll have to sit another day, but I'll deal with all of that on Tuesday, so let's get going. I know it seems like I get up early to do all these things, and I do, but one of the main reasons, even though it is Sunday, was I wasn't sure if the road was supposed to be closed, which it was supposed to, but they moved it until tomorrow on I-22. But getting through Memphis, I'd just rather do it early without any traffic. It tends to make things a little easier, and traffic tends to flow a little better. And it just tends to be a nice day. Memphis is either you're going to fly through it or you're going to be stuck. And it's just all about knowing the rhythm and nuances of Memphis, really. Because it's pretty predictable unless people are screwing something up. But, I flowed right through, thankfully. So we've stopped in Jasper, Alabama. We're here at this Love's, and there's a Waffle House over there. Yay! I'll stop here, get cleaned up. I'm not going to put fuel on until I get to Moody. So, yeah, I'm not going to put fuel on until we get to Moody. We're only about an hour and a half out. I started way too early, but y'all know why. Yeah, so I'm probably going to kill 2 or 3 hours here, grab my stuff, get some breakfast, and just enjoy my day. I just discovered this place has a laundry, so we got some time. We're going to take care of that. This is just one of those days where you need to take advantage of whatever opportunity you've got, because I may not get another chance to do laundry for another week. So yeah, we're only what, maybe 2 hours out, maybe, so I'll have to look. But yeah, now I know I'm sitting here wasting a bunch of time, but I got the time to waste. Oh look, they put a fence up. There's a fence between me and Waffles. Damn these people. I think they do it to keep the trash in their yard, but they also don't want us spending money over here. There is a worn path around here because apparently everybody wants waffles. Yay. Well, that's over. But in the words of Corporal Brown, I'm sure there's a gram of meth in there somewhere. So, let's get our stuff for our fridge. We need to get going. And we still got one more stop, and that's to get some fuel there in Moody. So, let's get going. So we're taking off. My check engine light went out. This truck doesn't like cold weather, apparently. makes me happy. We gotta have to do a U-turn here. But the reason we're not filling here and we're filling there is, one, I have a better chance of keeping the reefer full. We're only 99 miles away from the delivery, and I want to just get as close as I can to my pickup or my delivery before I put fuel on. And it also gives me an opportunity to make one more stop, you know, just in case I need to use the restroom. It saves one less trip out into the woods after dark. So we'll see you in Moody. Well, 180 gallons later, we're full, but something good did happen. My check engine light went back off. I found out if it comes on, I just throw a bottle of silver in there if I'm coming down south, and just run some unblended fuel through it, let the temperature come up, and it just cleans it right out. So just, my truck hates winter blend, and that's kind of, my last two trucks hated it too, did the same thing. So yeah, so let's see how far out we are, and we'll get going. We are 42 miles out, so I'm gonna put this thing in the wind, and we'll catch you when we get to the delivery spot. 705, 604, 605, 607. Good times. Let's get going. So I made it, and I'm all checked in. You check in at a guard shack down there. I got a 3 a.m. It is currently 1 p.m. Now, why did I get here so early? Well, E-log, honestly. But also, I've been here before. Yeah, get here. I got a 3 a.m. appointment, but they'll start calling me about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Been that way for years. I've been here, coming here for 2, 3 different jobs. That tells you how long I've been coming here. But yeah, so I'm just come in, chill out, and get unloaded. And I'll probably be unloaded before they all come to work. So I'll probably end up going, I hate to go back west, but I'll go to the nearest truck stop that I can find a place to park. So and then we'll just go from there. Because he's not going to be ready for me till probably 9 or 10 till he knows what he's doing. So that's it. So like I said, just a fun trip, and we're gonna hang up my laundry and just do a bunch of housekeeping and just enjoy the day, man. It's 70. I can hear the crickets and just nice breeze blowing. I'm gonna open up the truck, get it aired out, so it's gonna be a nice day. So hey guys, just do what you gotta do. Have a nice day, make a day of it if you can, and hopefully everything works out. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next video.
Up with the dawn, I look out to a brand new horizon, where the colors all blend like a friend.